Yeah, so one of the advice is, which is a very common advice as a patient now, try to choose a topic because you will enjoy it. So I think research is not the easiest thing you can do, whatever, just in a postgrad degree or to find a job later on. But it's one of the most rewarding, usually, when you start. Even people doing research in nothing to do with chemistry. And when I start discussing with colleagues, that's a very or PhD student, that's a constant. If you start talking to them about the research, they cannot stop.
Yeah.
So that's rather a good thing. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You need that. So yeah, but yeah, keep in mind the long term. If you do research, you want to be important for the society, for yourself. So keep in mind the impact. If you really don't know where the research could lead you in 3 years, 5 years, then that's maybe not a good topic either. So not saying in my case, I did everything I did at the beginning because I wanted a job in the industry, and here I am as an academic. So, but I'm still happy that I tried to project myself, because then I could really build on something and have a big direction. So I think that's important. Always ask yourself, okay, if I do this project, I work on this type of food. There are plenty of jobs in the food industry. And okay, you may not know what you're going to do in the food industry, but there's plenty of job. And so if you find a subject you're really passionate about to do with food and know that job, I think you're on the right way. Not being more precise than that. Well, if you find this field where you really love it, but you feel like really no idea what I will do after I finish my PhD, that's maybe you want to think about it twice, because you should solve this problem first. Really find where you could go.
Right. That's some good advice. Last two questions, and I won't take any more of your time. The first question, I suppose, is, and I ask this of almost all of my guests, looking into the future, and this can be in whatever context, what are you fearful of? What are you afraid of?
Donald Trump. Do everyone answer that? Or?
Yeah, tell me, please.
Yeah, I guess the Third World War.
Well,
Sorry, but
you're European, actually. You would understand that the impact of a world war and of conflict much more than someone like myself. Actually, not because I came from a country of war, but someone who's been brought up on this side of the world with no sort of exposure to that, and it's so many generations later, so we wouldn't even appreciate it.
Yeah, what Albert Einstein says something like, I don't know which weapon will be used for the Third World War, but I know the Fourth World War will be done with stones and sticks.
Sticks and stones.
Yeah, sticks and stones. So that's exactly that. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm the most. Not only Donald Trump, or like the Brexit is not good news. The extreme right party doing big score in France or in Austria just this weekend. And so that's I think what worries me the most. Yeah
that worries me too, especially with the alt-right and people who are just blatantly racist and intolerant, and that's scary. Okay, flip side of that question, what are you hopeful about when you look into the future?
There are a number of things to be it's not a single thing. It's not as easy to answer, I guess. Well, I'm always hopeful. If you look at the history of humanity, sometimes people feel like it's getting worse and worse. But you look like Roman time in Europe were very peaceful. Then Middle Age was terrible. Then Renaissance was great. So it's always up and down. So I hope we rather in the down at the moment, and we can go up. So when I see, for example, in education, I think one of the strengths of a brighter future is education, and I can see that when I was a student, it was I don't think so easy to study, and so we still have to fight to explain why you need education. There's still a number of people who say, going to university bring nothing. And we still have to make sure our degree brings something, bring jobs and so on in practice. But having an education bring more than that. So I'm hopeful that slowly throughout the world, and it's go a bit up and down, but we're rather on the way up. Education is developing slowly, and in many countries, I think we're fighting for it in Australia, but it's still developing. So the new this generation of students you see here, I'm I'm happy to see that the number of students on average in Sydney keep increasing, and the students to me seems to be as motivated as they were. Especially, when I was a student in my school, it was really an elite school, so you had to be the best of the best.
Right.
And yeah, but there was plenty of people that told you this. I took this national exam, and 90% of the people were just like out. So what I feel is that we're getting more and more inclusive. So we're trying to. We need to do a better job in maybe bringing to everyone up to the skills they need. So not everyone can be good at everything. I don't believe that. But I think we better and better are trying to help the people to do what they really want to do. And so more and more education. So I hope, that's my hope for the future, is that education keeps on growing, and more education means more exchange. For example, the best answer to Donald Trump is to have all this scientific exchange, have you guys in master and PhD working in the US and have American coming here.
Right.
And that's really the nicest thing we can do for research, for many things, also for the future of the world.
Right.
That the more exchange we will have, the less likely you will feel to go to war to this guy. You didn't your postdoc with this guy. Come on, you don't want to. Well, he's not the stupid American on the other side of the world. He's become the guy you share a bench with.
Yeah.
So,